Hello, my students. Hope you are doing very well. Welcome back to the next module of HTML, in which we are going to learn how we can embed images on our web pages. Any website you create gets more and more interested with more and more quality images that you have embedded. Make sure whenever you create a website, you use a good resolution images to bring before you actually start embedding in your HTML code. So without further delay, let me quickly give you the syntax of how the image is embedded inside a web page, and soon after that we will write a program to see how we can create multiple images in our HTML code. In order to save time, I have already downloaded some images and I have kept it in one folder. I recommend you to do this exercise before you start writing the code to embed the images. So let's get started. Right, so we are actually looking at how we can embed the images on our web pages. Before we start doing that, let me give you a syntax of how to embed the images. In order to embed an image, we will be using the img tag. Okay, we will be using src, which simply means the source from where you want to pick the image and embed in your web page. We will give an is equal to sign, the path of the image, and that's it. Pretty much simple, isn't it? So just two magic words we need to remember. One is the img and the second is the src. Now let us start implementing what we have learned. For that, what we'll do is, we'll go to our HTML code and we will start using this src and img tag. As I told you in the beginning of this module, I have already downloaded some images here. Now students, your images can be in any correct format. It can be in PNG, JPG, JPEG, any format which is correct for the images before you embed it in your HTML document. One guidance I want to give you here, make sure you have opened your image beforehand before embedding, so that you are 101% sure that you are embedding a correct image. Now in order to embed an image, as I said, use the img src tag and please give a path where your image is. I am going to remove this path because I wanted to show you something very important here. You can see that all my images F1 to F6 are placed in this folder. Let me give you a very simple trick of copying the path. Just click on this folder's URL path here, press this key and you will see all the files over here. Select the path, and one very important thing here is, you must change the dash, the symbols which by default the Windows gives you. So by default, if you use this slash, this will not be giving you the intended result. So as soon as you copy the path from Windows, make sure you have changed these slashes here and make sure that your path is correct. The alt attribute here means alternate. What does that mean? It says, let's say if this particular image does not load for some reasons, an Italian truly text will be written, or basically if you see, there are some websites, they have by default text written which says, sorry, we are unable to upload an image, or sorry, the image is missing. So an alternate text is very useful because let's say because of the internet bandwidth or any reason whatsoever, your image could not be made visible to the end user. The alternate text will help user know that this was the placeholder of the image and for some reason the image is not coming. You can also set the appropriate width and height of your image if you want. If you do not want, you can leave it as it is on the web page also. So what we are going to do now is run our code to see whether it is giving us an intended result or not. I'll double click on try tables and here you go. So you've got one image embedded here, and let's say if you did not want any specific size or width or height to be given, you can also remove this particular attribute. embedding images might get tricky sometimes. Please remember, if your HTML file and the image file that you are embedding are in the same folder, you can directly give the image name also. However, if your HTML file is in totally different folder and the image is in different folder, make sure you give a proper name to your, or pick up the proper address of where the image is present. I am going to add one more image to repeat the steps I have done. So let us this time add another image, and let's say if the image was not loading for some reasons, or let's say from the folder itself the image has been renamed or image has been deleted, an alternate text will be shown. So let's do that. So I'm going to add an alternate text, image not loaded, and let us now very quickly go to the folder where my other images were present. Let's say this time I want to take the FL2 image, which is another flower image I want to embed on my website. I'll be pasting it inside the SRC, which we have already discussed is the source, which tells you where the image is actually present. And what I'm going to do next, save it, and all done. I'm going to now refresh the page to see whether I've got the output. Wonderful. We've got these two images added side by side. Now I have a question for you. Just think for a couple of minutes, how will you actually bring both of these images on the separate lines? What is the tag that you will need? Excellent. You can add a BR tag, which we have already discussed. So let's see if that is working for us. Yes, it is. Can you see that? Both the images which have been added on this web page are here. With HTML, we have some restrictions. With CSS, when we start the module, we will see how specifically at a particular coordinate of your web page, you can embed the image. Stay tuned for the next module. For now, we have learned how we can embed images, but we'll come up with another interesting concepts in HTML. Till then, goodbye.